We've got ESPN's ranks of WNBA players right now. And Caitlin Clark is really high. One could argue she's not high enough. But I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of these folks. I will tell you this straight up. Angel Reese ain't nowhere to be found in the top 10. She's not involved. You're not here. Sorry, but not sorry. You're not to be seen.
Angel Reese is in complete disarray after ESPN dropped their 2025 rankings. Reality hit her harder than any defender she's ever boxed out this season. She strutted around convinced she was the undisputed queen of the court, exuding that "I define women's basketball" vibe, only to be shocked when ESPN didn't place her in the top 5 or even the top 10, but at 12th. Yep, 12th. And let's be real, that's still way too high. But hey, it looks like the crown slipped. Now she's reacting as if someone swiped her favorite pair of designer sunglasses, going full meltdown mode. Maybe ESPN just replayed her latest blooper reel at Unrivaled.
So, let's all get a laugh together here, because this is the list. And you see the list, right? Well, I don't see, correct me if I'm wrong, do you see Angel Reese on this list?
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is comfortably holding on to second place, completely unfazed, letting her performance speak for itself while Reese scrambles to keep her reputation intact. It's crazy to think that not long ago, everyone was trying to manufacture a rivalry, pitting Reese against Clark as if it were a genuine debate. Remember when even the commissioner was joining in on the hype?
Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979 when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another.
Well, consider that debate a closed chapter. The divide isn't just obvious, it's downright embarrassing. Clark never even broke a sweat, effortlessly outpacing her rival, while Reese is probably busy rage scrolling through her mentions, trying to tweet away the sting. Still skeptical? Check the facts. Let's be real. This is pure humiliation for Angel Reese. She had all the hype, the media frenzy, and every bit of trash talk at her disposal. She built her brand on being that unstoppable game changer. But when it came time to back it up, she ended up stranded outside the top 10, clutching nothing more than a participation trophy. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has been quietly dominating, dropping triple-doubles, shattering 62 records, and effortlessly redefining what it means to be a sports superstar. No gimmicks, no excuses, just unfiltered dominance.
Okay. And lo and behold, I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen number 2. They had Caitlin Clark. I said, really?
And spare me the whole, but she's a double-double machine excuse. Sure, racking up double-doubles is impressive, but what's even more impressive? Being the main reason fans tune in to every game. Remember when ESPN practically radiated an anti-Clark vibe, as if they were allergic to admitting she was the standout? Well, even they had to eventually admit the truth. She's the magnet, the one drawing all the attention.
You know, a lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
The numbers don't fib, the stats are crystal clear, and now even the rankings are laying down the truth. Meanwhile, Angel Reese fans are squinting at the list, desperately scrolling as if her name were hidden in microscopic print. Sorry to break it to you, but landing in 12th place isn't exactly what you'd call superstar status. It's like showing up to an exclusive VIP bash convinced you're the guest of honor, only to be left waiting outside while Caitlin Clark is inside, commanding the room. And those critics of Caitlin Clark really pulled out every narrative in the book to paint Reese as being on her level. Now, it's just silence, crickets. Honestly, it's almost serene without all that noise, isn't it?
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She has no skills. She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball, great. Nothing else. She has not, she's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing to do with basketball.
Let's not kid ourselves. If the roles were switched, the story would be entirely different. Picture this. Caitlin Clark dropping to 12th, while Angel Reese lounges comfortably at number 2. The internet would be ablaze, with sports shows devoting whole segments to dissecting it. Reese's fans would be celebrating like they just clinched the WNBA title. But now that Reese occupies the 12th spot, suddenly those rankings lose all their meaning. ESPN's list, completely irrelevant. Funny how that conveniently shifts the narrative, isn't it?
If we did go off of how much winning Caitlin was doing, how she was contributing to winning, and then going off the viewership and all that, oh yeah, for sure. I think Caitlin should have won.
The truth is, rankings do matter, especially when you've built your entire persona around drawing eyes to women's basketball. And Caitlin Clark? She's locked in at number 2, though let's be honest, she ought to be number 1. But that's cool. She doesn't need to top the list to prove she's the face of the sport. Her record-breaking plays, packed arenas, and jaw-dropping highlights have already said it all. This ranking just confirms what we've known all along. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, yikes.
And now she knows it to the point that even when she's on the basketball court, she's aware like, this ain't really my thing. Let me get this hot potato out of my hand and to somebody that knows what they're doing with it as soon as possible. You gotta see this clip. This is a 3-on-3 basketball game. Angel Reese strips a player at one end, runs down court with the basketball, 3-4 steps ahead of everybody, has an easy layup, and throws it to the girl behind her.
What's even more hilarious is that ESPN has finally caught up with reality. Caitlin has become indisputable. Remember last season when, for reasons that defied all logic, ESPN placed Angel Reese above Caitlin Clark on the rookie list? Yes, above the very Caitlin Clark who was out there breaking records like it was her day job, pulling up from the logo and making defenders question their entire careers. And what was Reese doing? Just vibing. That's really all there was to it.
And this is ESPN's list, y'all, not mine. So don't be chirping, getting mad if your fave isn't at the top. So at number 1, we have Cameron Brink. Number 2, Angel Reese. Number 3, Kate Martin. 4, Rickea Jackson. 5, Julie Vanloo. And 6, Caitlin Clark.
Now the truth is out, and the rankings finally mirror reality. Caitlin Clark isn't just great, she's a generational talent, while Angel Reese, maybe next time, try less talking and more hooping. Sure, Angel Reese did snag some rebounds, credit where it's due, but beyond that, what were we really watching? A highlight reel of missed shots, lackluster defense, and an offensive output emptier than a vending machine after midnight. Yet somehow, despite all the brick shots and defensive blunders, she was hailed as one of the top rookies, even pocketing a Rookie of the Year vote. Fast forward to today, and it seems the experts have finally opened their eyes. Maybe they actually watch the games now, or perhaps they stopped buying into the TikTok hype, or maybe reality hit them like a missed layup off the backboard. Either way, justice has been served because the more you watch Angel play, the more it's clear she hasn't improved. In fact, she might have even regressed.
Actually, a workout video with Brianna Turner and Caitlin Clark. Now, this is the first video where we've seen 2 players working out together from this team, so I want to live react to it with you guys. So obviously, Coach KP is there. I feel like he never leaves the gym. You have Caitlin coming across the screen. for a three. It looks like with all of these, they're working on a screen and roll with Brianna.
Just when it seemed like the WNBA drama had settled down, chaos returned with a vengeance. And who's at the center of it all? You guessed it, Angel Reese. Her former teammate, Brianna Turner, was recently seen working alongside none other than Caitlin Clark in Indiana. And let's just say, Angel isn't exactly cheering from the sidelines. The internet went wild, and honestly, this storyline has it all. Petty feuds, unresolved grudges, and enough jealousy to fuel a reality TV show for seasons. Brianna Turner has officially separated herself from the drama and ego surrounding Angel Reese, and she's doing it with finesse by teaming up with Caitlin Clark. Let's be honest, it's like leaving a chaotic house party and stepping into a peaceful luxury spa. The difference in energy is clear. Suddenly, Turner is thriving. Who would have thought? Choosing professionalism and skill over the noise and distractions seems to be the winning move.
So, lads, it's looking like the Indiana Fever have signed a perfect player to have beside Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Dwana Bonner, Tasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hall. Who else? Sydney Colson's still on this team, Damaris Dantas, and whoever they draft in the second round.
Now, picture Angel Reese, likely scrolling through Instagram, jaw tight with frustration, as she watches her former teammate cozy up with the very player she's been throwing passive-aggressive jabs at since their college days. If jealousy were a sport, Reese would be in the running for gold. She always saw herself as the main character, the face of the league. Yet here's Turner, choosing Caitlin Clark over the Bayou Barbie swagger.
And of course you have Caitlin. Like, she had such a phenomenal rookie season, so many great accolades. And I think the jumping from season 1 to season 2, players can also make a really big jump. So I'm excited to see her growth from year 1 and year 2. And she hasn't reached her ceiling yet either, so I'm really excited to watch her growth as well.
Let's be real. Reese probably thought Brianna would stay loyal, supporting her drama, lingering in her shadow, and feeding into her narrative. But instead, Turner hopped on the first train to Indiana, where the vibe is positive, the chemistry is strong, and the focus is purely on basketball, not side eyes and social media beefs. It's almost like some people actually care about winning, not just trending. Watching Caitlin and Brianna hit the gym together wasn't just heartwarming, it was telling. It highlighted who's focused on the game and who's focused on the drama. Their workout was smooth, intense, and team-oriented. You could feel the chemistry. Meanwhile, Angel's recent performances have felt more like a monologue no one asked for, filled with dramatic pauses, exaggerated reactions, and very little substance.
Angel Reese, 3-on-3. Let's get it! Hey, we back like we never left. Angel Reese in the post. Gonna work number 5. Shake and bake. Earthquake. Bang! Hey, Angel, you had all off season to get in the lab, fix your lamps, but what did you do? More podcasting. Layup.
And let's not overlook the blow to Angel Reese's public image. The player who once proclaimed herself the face of women's basketball is now left on the sidelines, watching as her teammates join forces with the true game changer. Caitlin Clark is out there building connections, forging alliances, and elevating her team. And now, Turner's right there with her. Meanwhile, Reese is stuck with the same tired antics and a shrinking circle of support. You just know Reese saw that footage of Turner and Clark and immediately went into damage control mode, probably typing a cryptic tweet like, "Loyalty hits different," or preparing a carefully curated photo dump with dramatic lighting to stir up attention. But let's be real, we all saw what went down, and so did the rest of the league.
How are you feeling about being in Indiana and joining the team?
I'm really excited. I followed a lot of these players throughout their college careers and professional careers, so it's kind of like full circle moment to be on the same team with a lot of these players again.
Tell me what it was like that, what went into your decision to come here and join what's being built here at the Fever?
I think that the front office and the staff just really had a vision in place, and I felt that I could really complement their vision.
Reese's ego might be hurt, but Brianna Turner's career just got a fresh boost, and all it took was stepping away from the drama and linking up with someone focused on elevating the game. That move says a lot. Angel may still have her supporters, but she's learning the hard way that clout fades, while teamwork endures.
Mashed potatoes! Brr! Thought we were gonna leave the hop skippity doo 3000 in 2024. Jumping off one foot, landing on that same foot. Then we're stat padding. Still, I thought we were past this, Angel. Brr! Rebounder in WNBA history. Look at this. Elite rebound. Look at that vertical. Look at the outlet pass. No, Angel. No! Why, Angel? Why? Not the kick out three. Butter pecan. Burn! If you throw it out of bounds, you hate puppies. What? She a playmaker. She's a point queen. Point queen. She making plays for the other team. Bang! Caitlin Clark's not the only one that can make cool passes. I can do it. Me too.
Maybe, just maybe, Angel Reese should try something revolutionary for once. It's called humility. Shocking, right? Imagine prioritizing your team instead of turning every game into a personal highlight reel. Picture Reese sharing the spotlight rather than hoarding it like her legacy depends on it, and playing the game as a teammate, not a solo act with a chip on her shoulder. But of course, that would require a complete rebrand from her current role as the queen of ego and unnecessary theatrics. So, while Reese continues rehearsing her next emotional press conference or planning her next media stunt, let's raise a glass to Brianna Turner and Caitlin Clark, two players who truly understand the value of teamwork.
Talk about you on the court. Like, what sort of attributes do you think you're going to bring, and where will you, add to the Fever from last year to this year?
Yeah, I think I'm really just like a calming presence. I feel like I never get too high or get too low. People are like, why don't you smile more? Why don't you get excited? I'm like, I'm just chilling, I'm vibing. Like, I feel like I'm really an observer, but I am really competitive as well. I like to run the floor, like to play defense, like to win, and I think the Fever was a place to be if I wanted to win.
Just when we thought the WNBA offseason had given us all the drama it could muster, Brianna Turner swooped in with the ultimate plot twist. Remember when, not too long ago, Turner was throwing those subtle jabs at Caitlin Clark online? Oh, we all remember. The tension was palpable. But now, fast forward to today, and you'd swear they've been best friends for life. The way they're smiling in training photos, seamlessly vibing together on the court, it's as if they've been a dynamic duo from the start. It's giving frenemies to finals energy, and the internet? Well, they're absolutely eating it up. Meanwhile, poor Angel Reese is left standing awkwardly in the background, like the third wheel nobody invited to the party. It's a sad sight, really. Her presence barely felt while everyone else moves forward, building alliances, making plays, and embracing the future. Talk about being left behind. The tables have turned, and it's playing out in front of us, drama and all.
Okay, so I thought this was cool. Look, it's no secret that Angel Reese has had finishing woes throughout her professional basketball career thus far. In a sense, it's been something she's been scrutinized and even mocked about.
In a stunning turn of events that has sent shockwaves through the basketball community, Angel Reese, once a collegiate sensation and now a rising professional star, has been unexpectedly removed from her team. Nola Henry, the dynamic and up-and-coming coach in the unrivaled league, has captured headlines with her daring decision, leaving fans and analysts alike questioning the reasoning behind this move. What led one of the league's youngest and most talented coaches to part ways with such a prominent player? The surprising exclusion of Angel Reese from the Rose Club squad has sparked intense speculation and debate, highlighting the unpredictable nature of professional sports dynamics.
Off somebody's leg or foot or didn't.
Well, typically to me, Lisa, the longer it takes proves that there was not conclusive evidence to overturn the call on the floor.
Then just say that and let's move on. We want to see some basketball playing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's explore the remarkable rise of Nola Henry. At merely 29 years old, Henry has swiftly made her mark as a head coach in the unrivaled league, showcasing an extraordinary blend of talent and determination. Her career launched in 2020 when she began as an intern with the Connecticut Sun, gaining crucial insights and experience under the guidance of former head coach C.T. Miller. Demonstrating her capabilities, Henry advanced through the WNBA ranks, securing a position as a trusted assistant coach for the Los Angeles Sparks. Her leadership skills shone brightly when she stepped up as interim head coach for 2 games. Now, Henry is one of 6 head coaches leading teams in the newly formed Unrivaled League, where she mentors some of the most skilled players in the sport.
Rose on 3, 1, 2, 3, roll.
Among the standout athletes on her roster is Angel Reese, the dynamic forward who has captured attention both on the court and beyond. Celebrated for her relentless drive, exceptional skills, and vibrant personality, Angel was anticipated to be a cornerstone of NOLA's Rose Club team. However, what circumstances led to her unexpected removal from the lineup? In her initial press conference, Henry expressed enthusiasm for cultivating strong relationships with her players and implementing sophisticated strategies. She underscored the significance of collaboration and discipline, stating, "I'm looking forward to the scheming, but I'm also looking forward to getting to know these players and building something special." Yet, it appears that certain factors or individuals have unsettled her plans for the Rose Club.
If it's one thing I learned from Kurt, it's how to prepare. That's probably the number one thing that he's taught me. So just what's going through my mind is just game plan stuff, just what I need to do to be prepared, how to make the players feel better, make them feel most comfortable and prepared. So just everything going through my mind right now, aside from the gratitude and the appreciation, just for the moment, the opportunity is just preparation, game plan stuff. I'm thinking about the game.
Insiders reveal that friction started to emerge during the initial phases of team practices. Reese, celebrated for her intense competitive nature, reportedly had conflicts with Nola Henry's coaching approach. Team sources suggested there were disputes regarding player roles and strategic choices, with Angel allegedly challenging some of the coaching methods. Boasting a talented roster that features stars like Chelsea Gray, C.A. Copper, and Brittany Sykes, Nola Henry faced difficult decisions. In such a fiercely competitive league as Unrivaled, full commitment to the system is essential from every player. When it came time to finalize the Rose Club roster, Henry made the decisive choice to remove Reese from the starting lineup. This unexpected move left fans astonished and sparked discussions about the dynamics between coach and player.
Rebounding the ball really well, specifically on the offensive glass. I think since adding the addition of Angel Reese, adding to Elizabeth Williams, both elite rebounders. So I think one emphasis is just trying to go out there and, rebound the ball. That's a pretty big emphasis for us. And then just playing our game, going out there, competing, having fun, trying to embrace doing the little thing.
Following practice, Henry addressed the media about her decision without specifying any names, stating, "As a coach, it's my responsibility to make choices that benefit the entire team. Sometimes that involves making difficult decisions, but I stand by each one." Although Angel Reese wasn't directly mentioned, the intent was unmistakable. No individual player surpasses the team's needs. Fans swiftly voiced their opinions on social platforms. Some commended Henry for upholding her values and prioritizing the team's welfare, while others questioned the judgment behind removing a player of Reese's talent, with one fan tweeting, "How do you bench Angel Reese? She's a game changer."
When they were playing all of those games in those weird courts where there wasn't that many fans, that was a similar atmosphere to Unrivaled. And the court, by the way, looks beautiful. The graphics, the lighting, all of the things looks absolutely beautiful. But you didn't get that crowd energy like you do get from any other basketball.
So, what's next for Angel Reese? Although she remains on the Rose Club roster, her spot in the starting lineup is still uncertain. For Nola Henry, this decision represents a crucial turning point in her emerging coaching career. Will her bold choice pay off, or could it backfire in the high-pressure environment of Unrivaled basketball? Angel Reese is facing an unexpected reality check in the unrivaled league. Her move to 3-on-3 basketball has been anything but seamless, with performances that have led fans to question whether she can truly compete with the league's top talent. In her early games with the Rose Club, Reese has been underperforming. Her shooting percentage is dismal, and defensive mistakes have cost the team vital possessions. Even in games where her physicality stands out, her inability to adjust to the faster pace and tighter spacing of 3-on-3 basketball is glaring. Simply put, Reese appears out of her depth, highlighting the significant gap between her and Caitlin Clark. Clark, who has effortlessly adapted to the unrivaled format, has been delivering standout performances. She's scoring from all areas of the court, dishing out highlight-worthy assists, and leading her team with exceptional leadership. While Reese struggles to find her rhythm, Clark has firmly established herself as the undisputed Rookie of the Year for 2024. Look at the numbers. Clark is averaging over 20 points per game, shooting an impressive 45% from deep and nearly 6 assists per game. Meanwhile, Reese is barely reaching double digits in scoring, shooting below 30%, and her defensive ratings are among the lowest in the league. The excitement that surrounded Reese from her college days seems to be fading quickly as Clark continues to widen the gap between them. And if you think Reese is trailing far behind Clark, think again. Kate Martin, another rookie who entered unrivaled with much less fanfare, has been on fire. The Iowa standout has been quietly dominating games, using her versatility to outplay her competition. Martin is shooting exceptionally well, playing lockdown defense, and making a strong case for being the second-best rookie of 2024. Her ability to rise to the occasion has been remarkable. She's not just excelling in her role, she's thriving under the pressure of unrivaled basketball. Fans and analysts alike are beginning to wonder, has Angel Reese been overhyped all along?
Brianna Turner has signed with the Indiana Fever per the WNBA transition page. Some depth for the Fever front court. She played for, again, I believe she played for Chicago.
Angel Reese is not handling this well. The moment Brianna Turner turned down the Chicago sky and linked up with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever instead, Reese was already in her feelings. And, of course, she made sure everyone knew it. "Oh, so this is what we're doing now?" she said, trying to sound playful. But that side-eye and that fake little laugh told the real story. You could practically hear the salt in her voice. Guess loyalty's got an expiration date like some old milk. Classic Angel, always turning everything into a moment. But behind the jokes, you know it stung. And WNBA Twitter, they gobbled it up like free popcorn at a game.
You don't get told no. Like, you're going to get the yeses. You're going to get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's going to come soon.
This wasn't just another free agent making a choice. This was Brianna Turner, all WNBA defensive first team, a proven veteran, someone who could have been the stabilizing force the shaky sky desperately needed, choosing to straight up ditch Chicago and put Angel Reese in her place by heading to Indiana. Turner literally took a pay cut to sign with the Fever, passing up a bigger deal with Chicago, who had the cap space to offer more. And when you're Angel Reese, still out here trying to convince everyone you're the face of the league, but watching players you need to stay with you go play for your so-called rival? Yeah, that hits different. And let's be real, there is no rivalry except in Reese's head.
WNBA free agency is officially underway, Annie. So when you see these names and the options that the Sky have, what do you think that they're cooking up?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Angel and Camilla are very interesting pieces. And when you're talking about, you know, getting the right players in here, there is intrigue when you have young core pieces like that, because you could be part of developing them and developing towards a title contending season, but the reality is the Sky are still very far from that. And so this year, the focus really has to be on getting players in who are going to bridge that gap between this season and next.
Reese tried to play it cool with the usual social media act, but you could see the cracks starting to show. Wow, just wow, she tweeted. Short, simple, but we all knew what it really meant. Translation, she was heated. And honestly, who could blame her? First, A'ja Wilson had to watch the Fever assemble what looked like an Avengers-level squad. And now, Angel Reese was getting hit with the same reality. It was like every top-tier free agent looked at Chicago, then at Indiana, and thought, yeah, I'm good. I'll go hoop with Caitlin.
So, in a kind of a surprising turn of events, the Indiana Fever have made yet another move this offseason, and they have signed Brianna Turner to the roster.
Meanwhile, over in Indiana, it was all about celebration. Brianna Turner was welcomed with open arms. Aaliyah Boston, as cool as ever, dropped a tweet. Let's hoop. Short and sweet, but oozing the kind of confidence that screams, we know exactly what we're building here. And Sophie Cunningham? You know she was somewhere grinning from ear to ear, probably already imagining the moment she gets to clap back at Angel Reese on the court after a hard foul. This Fever team isn't just stacking talent. They're building chemistry before they've even set foot in the gym.
These are the pieces that Stephanie White and Amber Cox is going after. They're going after ready elite talent, kind of, they know their responsibility. They know what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have to do a whole lot of coaching like that, teaching plug-and-play pieces, and women that are going to come in and make immediate impact. That's what you want to see from this basketball team. That's what you see from elite teams across the league.
But here's the thing. This goes beyond just a player choosing a team. This is a shift. The WNBA isn't just growing, it's evolving into a spectacle. Players are waking up to the fact that Indiana is the new place to be. And for Angel Reese, it's starting to look like a nightmare. While she's out here trying to sell us on the idea that Chicago's got next, her teammates, and potential teammates, are quietly saying, nah, we're good.
So, lads, this is not great news, for the Chicago Sky, who are a team that obviously, they're rebuilding. This is a team that is 100% rebuilding. The problem is they don't own their pick. So if the Chicago Sky run it back, they're probably not making the playoffs next year. Look, I think there's going to be an improvement from Angel Reese. I think it's going to be an improvement from Cardoso. But that team with no Kennedy Carter, it's going to be real tough to get any offensive power.
The offseason's barely started, and it already feels like the Fever won free agency. Angel Reese might need to start recruiting soon, but there's one problem. All the stars are taken. Social media was buzzing with bold takes. Y'all can keep Angel Reese and her missed layups. We've got Caitlin Clark. The disrespect, loud, ruthless, and honestly, kind of earned. What was Chicago's comeback supposed to be? The Sky's free agency tracker looked more like a missing persons report. Marina Mabrey left mid-season, Kennedy Carter wasn't re-signed, and Diamond DeShields chose Connecticut over Chicago. Now it's just Reese and Camila Cardoso left from their starting lineup. Sky fans were scrolling, wondering, wait, who did we even get? While teams like New York flexed their super team status and the Aces kept their dynasty core, Chicago looked like they were assembling a junior varsity squad.
Fever, it is funny that all these people who hated the Indiana Fever last year is finally coming around to sign with the team. Go figure. Now, I don't know the whole initial thing about this signing, maybe for depth, defensive purposes, but it is funny to see how what a year make when the Indiana Fever is one of the, not one, but is the top team.
The pain was real. Every time Fever fans posted a lineup graphic, Sky fans had to close the app just to save their sanity. Because what could they even say? Trust the process? That's fine for NBA Twitter, but this is the WNBA. You either build the right way or get left behind. And right now, Chicago looked like they were about to get lapped.
Indiana Fever are officially title contenders. Every day they have something new for us in free agency. And today, it's Miss DeWanna Bonner. 6-time WNBA All-Star and WNBA champ, a veteran in this game, can pretty much do it all, also an enforcer, nasty defense. Should I continue? We have a new starting five. Caitlin at the 1, Kelsey at the 2, DeWanna at the 3, Natasha Howard at the 4, and Aaliyah Boston at the 5.
Of course, Angel Reese wasn't about to let her pride take that hit without a fight. She went straight into the underdog speech, the one we've all heard. "I thrive when people doubt me," she said. And sure, maybe she does. Maybe she'll come out next season ready to bulldoze every defender in her way. But let's be real. Thriving off doubt is great for an individual, but basketball is a team sport. And right now, her team looks like they're one rolled ankle away from disaster.
Is Angel Reese, did she just run a coach out of town, and is she running a player out of town? Their best shooter out of town? Because Kennedy Carter looks like she's ready to book it out of Chicago.
While Reese is busy talking about proving people wrong, Indiana's out here making moves like they've got a personal vendetta against the whole league. Fever GM Amber Cox and head coach Stephanie White didn't just see potential in Caitlin Clark. They saw a championship window wide open, and they're diving through it head first. No more, we're rebuilding. No more, give it time. This team is built to win now, and every move they've made this offseason proves it.
What Steph White is doing and what the Fever organization is doing is nothing less than phenomenal, in my opinion. They are taking this young, talented core that they have, you know, with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and they're adding veteran players that Stephanie White has already worked with. Let's talk about that too, and has chemistry with and knows the work ethic of. And they are building this super team, make no mistake about it, that is going to give you instant results.
Natasha Howard isn't just a veteran. She's a champion, a defensive powerhouse who can still drop 20 any night. DeWanna Bonner is a walking bucket and a proven leader who thrives when the pressure's on. Brianna Turner? She's an elite defender, locking down the paint and making sure no one gets easy points. Sophie Cunningham brings the edge, the shooting, and the attitude, exactly what you need when the playoffs get gritty. And Sydney Colson? She's more than just good vibes. She's a seasoned guard who knows how to run an offense and steady the ship when things get chaotic. And here's the kicker. They did all of this without touching their Fab Four of Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull. Together, this isn't just a team, it's an army. Every role is covered: leadership, defense, scoring, depth, and most importantly, chemistry. Caitlin Clark doesn't have to do it all on her own. She's got a squad that's ready to handle business.
Breaking news came down, so we have to discuss it. This is what we do here. We're talking about the Indiana Fever making yet another move, Alicia, because they're Thanos right now and they're collecting all the Infinity Stones.
Don't forget, Aaliyah Boston is still here. While everyone's focused on Caitlin Clark, Boston's already an all-star and one of the most dominant young bigs in the league. Pair her with Brianna Turner and Natasha Howard, and you've got a defensive wall. Good luck driving into that paint. With DeWanna Bonner and Sophie Cunningham, Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull get cleaner looks on offense. Stephanie White isn't just collecting talent, she's building a team that fits. Everyone on this roster complements Caitlin Clark, stretching the floor, defending, moving without the ball, everything she needs to thrive. If teams thought trapping Clark at the logo was tough last season, wait until she's got Mitchell or Bonner cutting, Hull or Cunningham spacing, and Boston, Turner, or Howard punishing inside.
Sydney Colson is a two-time WNBA champion, a true vet, an amazing backup point guard. And anytime that CC or any of the guards need to go to the bench, I mean, Sydney Colson always makes the right call, always makes the right decision. So to pick up a vet, a professional like Sydney Colson, and then you also have a vet like DeWanna Bonner, and you also have a vet like Kelsey Mitchell, and then you have CC and Aaliyah Boston and Lexi.
The rest of the WNBA thought they had time, thought Indiana needed a season or two to figure it out. Wrong. The Fever just hit fast forward on their rebuild. They're not waiting. They're coming now. And for teams like Chicago, that's terrifying. If this team clicks the way it looks on paper, they're not just making the playoffs. They're making a run.
Just trying to give myself some grace because I know I'm not the player that I want to be just yet, but also kind of patting myself on the back, telling myself that I'm still doing great.
Angel Reese can preach underdog mentality all she wants, but that won't win games when Caitlin Clark's draining threes from the logo and Aaliyah Boston's sending shots into the third row. Chicago might think they can figure it out as they go, but the Fever aren't leaving anything to chance. They've built a team that's ready to win from day one, and that's what's really driving Angel Reese crazy. It's not just Brianna Turner leaving, it's the realization that Indiana is everything Chicago wanted to be: a young core, respected vets, and a front office making smart moves. The Fever are setting the standard, while the Sky? They're just hoping Angel Reese can talk them into relevance.
Great player. Good person as well. She's been great, and I'm really excited for her at this next stage in her career.
Caitlin Clark becomes the all-time leading scorer in major college basketball.
Another forever moment for this transformational superstar.
Have you caught what Juju Watkins said about Caitlin Clark? The basketball scene is electric, and the WNBA's usual figures are rushing to stay composed. Picture this. A 19-year-old college athlete exhibiting more class, respect, and leadership than veterans who've been in the league for years. Watkins just spoke some real talk, stirring up a league that clearly needs a reality check. And guess what? Angel Reese isn't brushing off Watkins' support for Caitlin Clark.
After spending the last 12 or so months complaining about being sexualized, after spending the last 12 months complaining about the dirty messages that she receives from lonely men on social media, Angel Reese, she was given the cover of the winter edition of Vogue magazine.
Let's set the scene. The WNBA has transformed into a drama series lately, with Angel Reese striving to be the leading star. Take, for example, the exaggerated buzz surrounding her Vogue cover. You'd think she revolutionized the game based on how they're celebrating it.
Angel Reese, who the media wants you to believe is the face of the WNBA, when at minimum, she is the co-star in this box office drama.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has just earned Time's Athlete of the Year, one of the most esteemed honors in all of sports, and the league barely took notice. It's almost laughable. Clark's accomplishments are monumental, yet it seems the WNBA has chosen to highlight the wrong narrative.
What would you say was the greater accomplishment? The cover of Vogue magazine or Athlete of the Year? Without a doubt, Athlete of the Year is the far greater honor. So I am incredibly confused with the difference in response to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Let's be real for a moment. Vogue is undoubtedly a significant milestone in pop culture, but it's far from the ultimate achievement. On the other hand, Time's Athlete of the Year is a worldwide honor that places Clark alongside legends like LeBron James and Simone Biles, athletes who have transformed their respective sports. The contrast is immense. One accolade celebrates genuine greatness, while the other offers a temporary spotlight. Reese's cover may be trendy, but Clark's award solidifies her legacy.
You guys tell me, what would be the bigger accomplishment? Landing the cover of Vogue or being named Athlete of the Year by Time Magazine? Not Female Athlete of the Year. I'm talking about Athlete of the Year, which means if you won the award, you were competing with legends like Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Donnie Carr.
And here's the catch. The WNBA seems unable to prioritize effectively. They're elevating Reese's Vogue feature as if it's the league's most significant event in years. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's remarkable achievements are being dismissed as an afterthought. It's almost humiliating to witness how they're manipulating the narrative, and Juju Watkins is not standing for it.
All kidding aside, I am happy for Angel Reese. Judging by some of her comments, Angel Reese dreams of being a fashion icon, which makes sense. I mean, seriously, what child grows up with dreams of becoming a dump diver in the WNBA? What child grows up with dreams of playing pretend basketball in empty high school gym?
What we're seeing isn't merely a difference in accomplishments. It's a prime example of how the WNBA chooses to direct its focus. Caitlin Clark is elevating the game to new heights, demonstrating that women's basketball deserves a place on the global stage. Angel Reese? She's preoccupied with garnering praise for herself. The distinction couldn't be more apparent. Regarding Caitlin Clark's latest extraordinary achievements, the WNBA has remained silent. It's almost as though they're intimidated by what Clark stands for. This isn't just any athlete we're discussing. Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent, a transformative force who's redefining women's basketball. Instead of honoring her as the superstar she truly is, the league is behaving as if she doesn't exist at all. It's ridiculous.
Although I am happy for Angel Reese for achieving her lifelong dream of landing the cover of Vogue magazine and being viewed as a fashion icon, I thought the celebration from the media was a bit strange. Some might even call it hypocritical.
So how did the WNBA react to Clark being named Time's Athlete of the Year? Oh, you're going to find this amusing. Instead of rolling out the red carpet or even sending a simple congratulatory tweet, they chose to ignore her. That's right, complete silence. It's as if they've slipped into an alternate reality where Clark's monumental success doesn't even matter. But here's where it gets really interesting. While the WNBA is busy pretending Clark isn't carrying the league on her shoulders, the broader sports world has taken notice. Clark isn't just being compared to her peers in women's basketball anymore. She's being mentioned alongside the biggest names in all of sports. That's a big deal, folks. And yet, the WNBA seems determined to treat her as an afterthought.
Angel Reese was celebrated for landing the cover of some magazine that no one reads anymore, while Caitlin Clark, she was vilified.
You'd expect the league to be thrilled about having a superstar who single-handedly fills arenas. We're talking about sold-out games wherever she plays. Meanwhile, most WNBA games struggle to attract spectators. The contrast is immense. But instead of capitalizing on Clark's star power, the league is treating her success as a challenge to be managed rather than a victory to be celebrated.
This is how Caitlin Clark was treated by jealous players who directly benefit from her star power. It's also how she was treated by those in the media who also benefit from the drawing power of Caitlin Clark.
What's genuinely unfolding here? It seems the WNBA is apprehensive about success, particularly when it's embodied by Caitlin Clark. She's drawing massive crowds and setting new records. Yet, instead of embracing this momentum, the league appears to be overlooking it. It's a peculiar example of self-sabotage.
Caitlin Clark was pressured by the media to share her honor with unknown and undeserving WNBA players who contributed absolutely nothing to the elevation of the league last season.
And here's the twist. While the WNBA keeps dropping the ball, other players are stepping up to give Clark the recognition she truly deserves. Enter Juju Watkins, the 19-year-old phenom who's wise beyond her years. Watkins openly lauded Clark's influence, demonstrating more maturity than the entire WNBA combined. Just imagine that, a teenager acknowledging greatness while the league itself chooses to ignore it.
I have been saying this for a while now. This is one of the main problems with the WNBA. They want to pick and choose which players are celebrated. They want to tell you who you should support.
Clark isn't merely a star, she's a movement. She's transcending the sport, standing alongside the biggest names in all of athletics. Yet, instead of celebrating her, the WNBA is treating her rise as something to fear. It's downright comical. As the league continues its awkward dance around Clark's success, Watkins is out here dropping truth bombs that have everyone talking.
But after reading her recent interview with Fox News, Juju Watkins, she has earned some of my respect. After reading this interview with Fox News, it became abundantly clear that Juju Watkins, she gets it.
So what's the WNBA's ultimate plan here? Are they genuinely expecting Clark's impact to simply vanish? Spoiler, that's not going to happen. She's drawing unparalleled attention to women's basketball, and their reaction is complete silence. Meanwhile, athletes like Watkins are demonstrating that the next generation understands the significance. They recognize the bigger picture.
Fox asked her about the influx of attention that Caitlin Clark brought to women's basketball. Here is what Juju Watkins said. So many new fans in the sport can sometimes be a headache. Not everyone knows what they're talking about, but it's great for the sport. The fact that people are watching is enough in itself. We would like it to be positive, but it's not always going to be like that. As long as we continue to raise the numbers and viewership goes up, I think that's all we can ask for.
Juju Watkins isn't just thriving on the court, she's showing the league how to truly embrace success. At only 19, she's already accomplishing what the WNBA should have achieved years ago, giving Caitlin Clark the recognition she deserves and demonstrating that women's basketball belongs on the global stage. It's almost poetic. While the WNBA falters, the youngest voices are stepping up to lead the way.
Shaq went on Angel Reese's podcast this week and shared his billion-dollar idea for the WNBA.
In the next few minutes, you'll witness the moment that rattled women's basketball to its foundation. We have Shaq, Angel Reese, and a whole lot of uncomfortable truths to unpack.
Bro, a pretty girl dunking on the rim, I'm watching that all the time. You laughing.
My man is not turned on by no woman that's dunking.
It ain't about being turned on. It's about seeing stuff that you're not supposed to see.
Here's what's ahead. We'll reveal the exact words from Shaq that made Angel uncomfortable, showcase the statistics that support his claims, and explain why this one conversation could potentially alter the future of the WNBA. Stay tuned, because this is going to be intriguing. Shaq just dropped a truth bomb that has the entire basketball world buzzing. We're talking about a 4-time NBA champion, a Hall of Famer, and a business mogul worth over $400 million. When Shaq talks, people pay attention, and he certainly had a lot to say about the WNBA. Picture this, Shaq sitting there, calm and collected, as he discusses ways to make the WNBA more exciting. His suggestion? Lower the rims. Let's roll the first clip.
And women's beach volleyball, let's just say the net is 10. For women, it's lower just a little bit. I'm not saying lower it to 9, 5, 9, 6, but just 9, 9.
Just so we can dunk?
Yes.
No.
No, see? And
I hate when men say that.
But listen, that's the only difference.
People always disrespect women regardless. They're always going to not give us the same value as a man. So I just don't even think that.
And that's why you got to do what you've been doing. Go take the
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, if you lower that thing to 9.
And what's going to happen? All right, tell me, the money going to go through the roof?
Yeah.
Not all the way down to the ground, of course, but just enough to change the game. He's suggesting lowering the rim to about 8 to 10 feet below the standard height. Why? So we can see some dunks naturally. You might think that doesn't sound too bad, but here's where it gets interesting. Sitting right across from Shaq, Angel Reese isn't on board with that idea. She fires back, making some compelling points about respecting women's basketball.
I feel like it still wouldn't be good enough. It's never good enough for a man. People always disrespect women regardless. They're always going to not give us the same value as a man. So I just don't even think that.
She then addressed the issue of people not tuning in to watch the game.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, if you load that thing to 99999.
And what's gonna happen? All right, tell me, the money gonna go through the roof?
Yeah.
We don't even have the people don't. Enough people don't even watch the game.
You can feel the tension rising as Angel contends that lowering the rim is outright disrespectful to female players. But Shaq wasn't finished. He delivered a real knockout punch.
We don't even have the people don't. Enough people don't even watch the game.
Because I don't want to use the B word. Unless it's certain people playing. It's like you're watching like a high school game.
He looked Angel in the eye and compared the WNBA to high school basketball. Yes, you heard that correctly. Shaq stated, and I quote, "It's like you're watching a high school game." Can you imagine the collective gasp from WNBA players everywhere? Let's break this down for a moment. Shaq, one of the most dominant players in NBA history, just suggested that the highest level of women's professional basketball is comparable to high school boys' games. That's not merely a critique. It's a full-blown slam dunk of criticism.
Shaq, he was trying to teach Angel Reese how to make the WNBA more entertaining. You know, so people might actually watch the product. And Shaq is qualified to do so. During his NBA career, the dude was a brilliant marketer. He knew how to be entertaining while also being dominant on the court. There was a reason that every member of the media was waiting by Shaq's locker after games. They knew he would deliver the best sound bites. They knew he would give the most entertaining interview.
You might be curious about how this will unfold. On one side, there are people agreeing with Shaq, believing he's just voicing what many have been thinking. They argue that if the WNBA wants to attract more viewers and generate more excitement, then something needs to change.
Angel Reese, just because a man is criticizing your league, it does not mean he is disrespecting women. This is the entitlement I always talk about. Angel Reese and her colleagues in the WNBA, they have this false sense of entitlement that makes them believe that they are above being criticized. Anytime they are criticized, they want to play the victim. Men don't respect women. Oh yeah?
On the flip side, there's a large group of upset fans and players who believe Shaq's comments are disrespectful and outdated, arguing that his approach is misguided.